All right, guys, let's say you're up on that hole and you want to absolutely crush one. It's a par 5, it's wide open. Maybe you got some wind at your back. You really want to hit it high like the pros do and just let it carry a mile. This is going to be a couple of really quick, easy tips to get you to crush the ball. So it's only going to use this. You may lose a little bit of inconsistency when you're trying to hit it this hard, but if you're on an open hole, go ahead and let it fly. You know, if there's no trouble in the hole, try to rip one. It's fun to hit it far. So I'm going to give you a few things that are really going to help you to do this. So number one, if we're looking at launching the ball really high, getting the most distance we can, we want to have a positive angle of attack. So what I mean by this is as you swing this club, imagine it's coming down and it's a pendulum. The bottom of this pendulum would be dead flat. The club is moving perfectly level with the ground. As it starts to come back up, that would be a positive angle attack, meaning the club is moving upward. So if we're watching long drive guys, the guys that are hitting it absolutely as far as anybody on the planet, you know, swinging 150 miles an hour, carrying the ball like almost 400 yards sometimes, they're hitting the ball about 6 or 7 degrees on the upswing. That's a bit extreme. We're not going to be able to do that very easily on our normal swing and then go back to hitting down on an iron -3, -5 degrees. It's a little bit too much discrepancy. But if you want to have a special shot like this where you have a wide open hole, it's okay to feel like you at least get 2 degrees, 4 degrees up on the ball. That's perfectly fine. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go ahead, if this is our normal stance and our normal ball position with the driver, that's for that level angle of attack, we're going to go ahead and move the ball up in our stance. So basically here, if you're trying to go all out max distance, go ahead and put that ball just kind of on your front toe. And now as I swing, I'm going to be hitting up on this ball. That ball is going to be coming on an upward ascending blow as I hit it. Now we're launching the ball high as we're doing that because we're adding some loft to the driver head because now it's moving up, plus it's going to have the loft that's on the head. We want to go ahead and make sure that we de-loft the club a little bit so that we transfer all the energy into the ball. Imagine you have a pitching wedge and I'm swinging 120 miles an hour, big time speed, like PJ Tour type speed, and I have a pitching wedge with the face has 45 degrees of loft on it. Well, if I come down and swing 120 miles an hour, it's a glancing blow because this ball is hitting at an angle against the face. Well, if I take all that loft off, and let's say I had 0 degrees loft, and I came in and hit it dead square, now all the energy is transferring directly into the ball. So the more loft we can take off the club, as long as we're hitting up on it enough to get it up in the air, the more energy that's going to go into the ball. So a great way to do this is an awesome little training aid I have called the Impact Snap. I wish I'd come up with this training aid, I didn't, but I definitely like to use it. You go ahead and set up with this Impact Snap in your hands, and now I'm going to go ahead and roll my hands until at impact my forearm would be touching this yellow ball, the bottom of my right forearm. So that's really de-lofting the club. This is exaggerated. This is a little bit more than we do when we're really swinging, but it's a great way to feel that exaggeration. So if you have one of those, that's fantastic. If not, what I want you to feel, if we're looking from the down the line view, is that I'm going to be turning this face down toward the ground. And then from there, as I hit up, that's squaring the face early, it's de-lofting the face. As I hit up, I'm going to be taking that loft off there, so that upward blow is going to get the ball launching high. And by taking some loft off, I'm delivering the full impact, the full force. Now here's the last thing to do with your swing. I wouldn't try to make a lot of swing changes when you're trying to hit maximum distance. You really just want to use your normal swing, but we want to make sure we really wind up with the torso. Now traditionally, we would leave our left ankle on the ground. So as I'm loading up, I want to make sure my shoulders get this big turn. I'll let my hips go ahead and turn so I can really get wound up behind the ball. Again, you watch long drive players, they're really loading up. That helps them a lot. For those of you guys that are a little bit older, make sure you let those hips go. Now again, as you get older in age, it gets a little tougher to wind up, it gets a little tougher to get that power. Don't be afraid to lift your left heel slightly off the ground. We don't have to get it way back here like this, like you see some people do, but just a little bit, maybe an inch or two. That's going to allow your hips to rotate a little farther. See, if my ankle's on the ground, I can't rotate my hips as far as if I let my ankle come off the ground. And then from there, my shoulders are going to load up even more as I'm going back. So I'm going to put it to the test. I got my flight scope radar out here. I got a range ball, it's limited flight, and we're going to put it to the test. This is all great to say this kind of stuff, but let's see if we can hit this ball 300 yards, which would be, I'll be impressed if I can make it happen because these balls aren't going to go quite as good as a normal Pro V. But let's try it out. Ball up in the stance. I'm de-lofting that club, so I'm hitting up, almost feeling like I'm putting topspin on the ball. And I'm going to let my left ankle lift a little bit to get a little bit extra swing speed and really load up. There we go, hit it pretty hard. Just down the left edge of what would be the fairway. Let's see what I got out of it. Oh, 297.8, almost 300 yards. Again, limited flight golf ball is gonna be tough for me to crank 300. I'll go ahead and swing a few more. We'll see if I can break the 300 mark. All right, guys, took a few more swings. Absolutely crushed the last one. 316 was the total distance. Go ahead and take a rip at it, have fun. Get on those holes where you got a little bit of room, it's open, you're downwind, and have a good time. Just go ahead and take a rip at it. If you hit a bad shot, it's all right. It's no big deal. You'll be able to straighten it out on the next hole. See you guys soon. Have some fun. All right, guys, I got a great bonus for you. Everybody wants lag in their swing. If we watch the top pros, they're getting tons of distance by creating a big angle of lag and letting that rip. If you want to hit it far too, that's something we need to incorporate in our golf swing. So I got a great preview video that's going to walk through one of the #1 mistakes I see people making with lag. I'm going to play about 30 seconds of that video here in a second. If you want to see that entire video, go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen if you're on a desktop device. If you're on a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, go ahead and click the iCard and you'll get instant access to that full video. Plus you're going to get 5 bonus videos from our Top Speed Golf system. See you guys in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, you look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.